cheesy jazz. Cheesy jazz on a Tuesday morning.
It's not really jazz.
It's not really
more
jazz.
blues.
It's blues played to a jazz shuffle.
It's dad jazz. Dad jazz.
It's the best we can do.
It's the best we can do. Welcome back, it's Andertons TV. I'm Pete.
I'm the captain.
And today, I was going to say, and what are we looking at today, Lee? Because I felt like it. But
well, I mean, everybody at some point in time, I think, if you play guitar, dabbles with the dark side and thinks to themselves, maybe I should buy a jazz book or something like that.
The real book. Go and buy the real book if you want to learn some proper jazz. Real book.
And,
I dare you.
So many different kind of forms of jazz, going back into sort of big band kind of jazz stuff or into sort of, the crazy fusion-y stuff or even, just like jazzy blues is kind of cool. But I think, although there are lots of different guitars, you can play jazz on any guitar, but I kind of feel like the really synonymous kind of guitars with jazz players tend to be the bigger box kind of, semi-acoustic sort of vibes. And I guess, king of that world, over the years has been Gibson with, models like the 175 or the L5 or the Birdland and things like that. But I mean, Ibanez is a big player in the jazz world.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But for reasons, whatever reasons there are, I think, due to maybe the move of Gibson from Memphis to Nashville and the surge in demand of guitars over the last year, of just electric guitars, Gibson have kind of put most of their jazz-style guitars on a bit of a back burner, really.
Yeah.
I think there's still a few coming out of the factory, but they're really hard to get hold of, a year's waiting list.
Yeah.
And like the L5 now, I think if you can get one, is touching like 10 grand, 9 or 10 grand for a guitar. It's like, whoa.
Yeah. But there is a lot of work going into it, so I understand that amount of money. It is what it is,
So when Andertons started talking to the Heritage guys last year, and I guess, the catalogue starts, and you look at the H150, their kind of Les Paul vibe guitar, and you look at the 535 and the 530, which are more like the 335 and 330. And you're sort of going, well, it's so cool, and I love it, I love it, I love it. What you then kind of see a little bit further down the page is you see the 575 and the Eagle.
Yeah.
And you go, oh, they're so sexy guitars. Yeah. And then you scroll a little bit further down and you go, that's half the price of what Gibson are typically charging for one of these at the moment.
Yeah.
And it's like not half the guitar. I mean, it's the same level of workmanship. It's coming out of that Kalamazoo factory. If you're
Parson Street.
Yeah, if you're not familiar, it is the old Gibson factory before Gibson moved to Nashville.
Yeah.
The quality of the finishing, the pickups, everything is on par. It is just half the price. Still expensive, because half of 10 grand is still
5 grand. It's still a lot.
Expensive.
But it's an affordable one, like we said in the PRS video. It's affordable Super Eagle.
Yeah, but
not affordable.
It kind of goes from being like lottery winning money to like, okay, if I sort of, sold one of these and sold one of that and maybe stretched a little bit here, it's sort of achievable.
Yeah.
So look, both these guitars come in a couple of different colours. Right now, all we have in stock at Andertons are the natural ones. But,
we'll get a Sunburst at some point, I think, they're coming in.
Yeah, we've got everything on order.
Yeah.
Do you want to go through the specs of what you've got there and do some tones? I kind of feel like you should do the tones on both of these because, as much as you say you don't have jazz chops, you have substantially better jazz chops than me.
See, it's always, jazz chops is, I've studied music, and it was, when you go to music school and you study, when I did anyway, it was a lot of jazz. It was a lot of the theory.
I barely went to normal school, let alone music school.
So you have to kind of learn a bit of, and it's just a bluesy thing, but with embellishments that, like if you watch Rick Beato, have you seen when he just jams along with all of his, and then he's playing this and that, and he just knows exactly what he's doing. I've got no idea what I'm doing. I just play notes.
I've got to be honest with you.
He's incredible.
I'd never heard of Rick before he started doing his YouTube channel thing. Everyone's probably heard of him now. And when I first saw him, I thought he was like a record producer that sort of, could play a bit.
Yeah.
Man.
He's multi-talented.
Oh, it's
his
like,
kids are incredible.
It's lunatic, man. His understanding of what to play over what is alien level. Well, maybe not alien. I mean, maybe all the great guitar gods have got that level, but just the way he goes, I could play this or play, and it's like, Anyway, enough blowing smoke up of Rick's
and he's got, but if you're into all that stuff, actually, just to mention, he's got this Beato book that you can buy via his website.
He doesn't need any more subscribers, Pete.
No, not the subscribers, but it's the book, and it's very he explained what he's doing. So if you wanna learn all that
not just for
stuff,
jazz, he does metal and everything, doesn't he? But
yes,
hey,
because it's the theory. Anyway, because he's amazing. Anyway, so here we go. This is the one. Sorry. It's not the one, it's the 575.
Careful, there's a lawsuit in there somewhere.
There's a lawsuit in there. And this is, of course, a hollow guitar. It's completely hollow. In this beautiful maple flame. And you know what I'm a massive fan of all of these little bits. I love when you can see that in a guitar.
Because that's what makes the guitar unique, right? No two guitars will ever have quite the same grain.
I absolutely love the grains in this. And
I love the arch back as well as the arch top.
Yes, it's got an arch back on it. Rosewood fingerboard, the wooden plate here. Seth Lover pickups on here. So they are Seymour Duncan's, but they're Seth Lover
and
pickups.
Seth Lover, of course, was the guy who was at Gibson, did the PAF. So, I mean, that's it's a very, you can kind of see that there's I don't know how much tension there is between Gibson and Heritage, but the designs and the heritage of the two are very intertwined.
And it's the same people that work there. So it is very, as you say, intertwined. Rosewood fingerboard, Jessica, nickel frets on here. Just all the good stuff, trapeze, string tail. You can hear, it's ringing when I'm talking.
There's resonant overtones with that, isn't there? Like almost like a piano, isn't it? Where like every note that you play on a piano triggers other notes to kind of vibrate. It's kind of similar on this style of guitar.
It's just a wonderful thing. it's classic, isn't it? It's a classic design with the really sharp colorway.
I would say the 575 or that 175, 575 kind of design is probably the one that does have a little bit of a kind of a rock and roll kind of following as well as a jazz following. Unlike something like the Eagle or the L5 or whatever, you're really not going to see outside of a jazz kind of a world.
You mentioned Pat Metheny before, and he's more like a fusion-y kind of guy. A little bit of a distorted, maybe clean, but he's kind of a fusion-y guy. So, and I think Bryan Adams plays something like this, the gold one with the, but I'm not sure it's a 175, but it's definitely, it's the one with the, it's a Gibson, it's got, anyway, and he plays Bryan Adams on it. It's Bryan Adams, so he rocks and rolls out.
The only thing, even in the little video room that we've got here, that you find with both these guitars is they have a tendency to feed back more than a smaller bodied or a centre block style guitar would do. But look,
anyway,
tones, Pete. Actually, just a quickie. It is a 24 3/4 inch scale length. So again, all of that's very familiar feeling. How would you describe its neck? Because this doesn't feel too big, this one on here, so...
No, you have to remember, so I was lucky enough to get that 330 guitar from 1961, and that neck on that is super slim. And I think this is not wide, but it's not fat. But it doesn't have rolled fingerboards, which is it's not really rolled, but it's such a good guitar. Lots of resonance in there. But anyway, we're yapping on. Here's some tones. Here's the neck.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, it's something,
It did surprise me a little that Heritage string these with sort of a relatively traditional round wound set of, feel like probably 10s on here. Might be 11s, but I think 10s.
Yeah, but it's not flat wound.
Yeah, I'm so kind of in my head, I kind of feel like if you want that crazy thumpy bass end that you hear, the guys playing all those walking bass lines, you probably want to chuck a set of flat rounds on
you don't
there.
hear this. It's not a thing you'd hear on flat rounds.
Equally, if if you want a guitar that feels like your regular guitar when you're playing it, just stick with the round wounds.
Yeah, and it could be why when somebody picks a guitar like this and they don't expect those flat round strings, they're going to be put off a bit, and this is just. it's just there.
The wooden scratch plate, man. It's just
it's lovely.
What a touch. It's lovely.
So again, tone, 2 tones and 2 volumes, standard, but you can roll down. Now you get proper. You get proper jazz. Middle position. So again, much more, I would say, it's not so jazzy, it's a bit more usable for other things, you know. Then you can just roll off a bit of the tone. So you can play with the tone control and get that hunky.
What if you take the actual master? If you go back to the neck pickup and take the master volume like down with just 1 notch, does it take away some of that?
It takes that top end away, yeah. I mean, they use all these I don't know the term, but all these pots and
they got the switch
capacitors and all that
expensive stuff in there,
all of the good stuff in there. We got middle. Anyway, lovely. Then you got the bridge. Pokey. I mean, that's just straight in the amp, no pedals.
No pedals, man.
What does it do with pedals, Lee? That's the thing, a little low gain. I mean, it's definitely...
I'm surprised you've got a bit of volume there with no feedback, haven't you?
Yeah. Not that you
Has it
probably...
got that old, like, late 50s rock and roll-y kind of...
Well, that is Bryan Adams used that big Gibson thing and he just... You know, on the back pickup, and it just gives that massive kind of... But I can imagine with a big band and Marshall stacks and a drummer and stuff, you know, in the... It's like, ooh, you can feel the whole guitar.
Stuffed full of teeth.
I mean, is that 12-inch fret radius, so it's very flat, like a Gibson. But it is just when you get those jazzy tones, man. I don't know what I'm playing at all. That was all just completely random.
The big jazz boxes from, you know, Gibson Heritage, D'Angelico. Who else is famous for making those kind of? There's another D apostrophe maker from New York. I can't remember his name. I just think, as pieces of art, I think they're the prettiest guitars that you can buy.
Oh, it's wonderful. It's a wonderful guitar.
I just think it's just. I mean, you can see the amount of craftsmanship. There's no sense at all with a guitar like this that a tree goes in one end of a machine and a guitar pops out the other.
No.
Which for sure on a lot of solid body, mass-produced electric guitars, that's kind of the vibe.
Yeah, look, just smell it. It smells like
could you
wood
please
workshop.
Now break my heart and make this sound amazing?
Holy moly, yeah, this is definitely bigger.
Isn't that weird?
I feel like I need a long arm
I kind of think visually, I wasn't thinking it was that much bigger, but honestly, holding it now, this feels tiny compared to that.
This is
that is such a good looking guitar.
It is, isn't it? And can I just show you?
I think you should have dressed up for the occasion, Pete. I feel like, you know.
I should have had a suit
like,
on.
Yeah,
and
I think you should have, yeah.
With like a hair, or maybe a big hat.
At least worn a tie.
Yeah, something. Look at the back of this. Black. Look at the inlays in here. I mean, it's just wonderful. It's just gold.
If we get the back of that guitar in the right light and in the right camera angle, it's stunning.
Yeah. I don't know what to say. I mean, they're just wonderful things.
Same basic construction again, in that it's completely hollow. It's the Seth Lover Seymour Duncan pickups, floating. You know, the floating bridge. This, I must admit, I can't claim to be familiar with this. I've seen this again on certain L5s. Is it L5 or Super 5 or something? But these little pins here cause each of those individual
they're pushing them
tail
up and down,
pieces to go up and down, which doesn't. I don't think it's a tuner thing. I think it's just about adjusting the brake angle that you want over the bridge. But
it does tune at the same time because, of course, it's pushing the string down. But if you notice this here, so it's a pin that goes through, and all these individuals sit on that, and that's where the string sits in.
We'd need a real guitar expert.
Well, I'm sure there'll be one. There'll be one to tell us in the comment section.
But it is a 25.5-inch scale length.
Oh, so it is bigger. It's not just it looks bigger on me.
It is a longer scale length, which I think, honestly, that adds the string tension compared to these. So that's probably why it feels like a slightly heavier set of strings on there.
That's true.
Bigger body, obviously, slightly different.
Big headstock on here.
Yeah, a little bit bigger heads, because it's got the much bigger tuning keys, those very vintage style tuning keys.
Huge headstock compared to that.
I would say that looks like
I
would say that looks like an ebony board rather than a rosewood board.
Yeah.
Gee whiz,
it's just wonderful.
That is such a pretty guitar.
Oh, same caps. Let's have a listen.
Look at that wooden. That looks like such a pretty scratch plate on there. I would say that's ebony as well on the scratch plate.
It looks like it.
But hey.
More wooden.
Can I say that sounds more jazzy?
It's more hollow.
Yes.
It's more. That's all you want to do if you want to play jazz. You just go half, same chord up.
Can you imagine? I wonder if there are like jazz tribute bands out there that do like sort of jazz versions of classic metal tunes, you know.
Oh, there are.
The jazz version of Enter Sandman or something.
Isn't there a German band called the Spaceballs or something? The Baseballs, and I think, but I can't remember if they do jazzy versions or they do like Billy. What's it called? With the bass,
right, like rockabilly,
rockabilly kind of style. Maybe they do hits of that. Anyway, there's something like that. Look it up. I'm still on a neck pickup here. It's a Beatles song, by the way. Here's the middle position. Definitely much more. That's a proper Disney chord, that isn't it? And again, I could play this for hours, and I won't do because it's just too much. See, I think I understand why people put just the one pickup on the front, because I'm not sure how much if I was playing that kind of music, I would go to that back position. But I might be wrong.
I kind of feel like, although, you know, those big thumpy kind of jazz players probably made that style of guitar famous.
Yeah.
I kind of think if you go back into the 50s and just look at some of those big band, you know, that's the kind of guitar those players were using, and and that was just, you know, general accompaniment.
Just like, maybe that.
And I think if everything was very bassy and bass heavy for that style, you wouldn't hear it in the band.
True.
So
what did Scotty Moore play with Elvis? What did he play?
Something like that, I think.
That was all kind of a, you know.
If I could type any faster, what guitar did Scotty?
I should know that
Moore,
because he was one of the original. He's an OG.
He played a Gibson 295, which is probably like a P90 version of that.
Yeah,
kind of.
He's the original. He's one of the original guitar heroes, isn't he?
Yeah.
He was a great player. He made great songs.
Do you know this? These are the most popular questions about Scotty Moore. Why did Scotty Moore leave Elvis? Who played guitar for Elvis? What kind of guitar did Scotty Moore play with Elvis? And then the fourth one, you know, was Scotty Moore a good guitar player? Do you think Elvis Presley just sort of went, he'll do, like just an average, you know? I suspect Elvis probably wanted the best guitar player at that time.
Yeah, or the cheapest one.
Or the cheapest one.
Maybe he was the cheapest one. Anyway, just because we can, I'm going to put a little bit of gain on just to see what it does on the back pickup, because we did it on the other guitars, so I'll play some blues licks. Bad licks. It's alright. I mean, it's the neck pickup. That sounds great. Middle.
Stunning.
Amazing.
So there you go. Yeah, that's the Eagle. Funnily enough, Pete and I were saying, I wonder why they called it the Eagle, because you've got most of the rest of the Heritage range have got some sort of model number nod to, and we were wondering if that was sort of
Birdland,
but then it's not
Eagle.
Really it's not
a Birdland.
That similar to a Birdland.
But some of the Birdland had this. Some of them have got like more.
Yeah, some of them have got the pointy Florentine. Some have got the soft. But no, I don't know.
A pointy Florentine.
Is it just that the Eagle is, you know, the king of the birds,
like the super eagle?
It's not really like a. I mean, that was that. If you didn't hear that, that was Tay going. Is it something to do with, like, you know, Gretsch had the white falcon? Does Heritage have the eagle again? Maybe. Maybe it's just all about.
You know, all Volkswagen's car names are all named after winds. The Passat wind, the Golf wind.
The silent but deadly wind. I don't know which one that one is.
The Touareg, all of those are wind names. So really? Yeah, so there you go.
Okay, well there we are. Look, links below.
The Lupo.
If you've not shopped with Andertons before or been to Andertons, you can come to our showrooms in Guildford and try stuff like this.
Sorry.
obviously watch these videos, or for something extra special service, if you can't get to the store, if you contact the Guitar Gallery guys at Andertons, they'll set you up your own personal little video demonstration of the guitars that we've got in stock. So maybe you might like that.
And maybe you end up with a guitar like this, and that's what would be your
I'm
happy
going to tell
finish.
you, just in case, right? This is serial number AL35201.
That is that top with those.
It's stunning.
It's my favorite looking guitar at the moment. And this one is AK47. No, I'm kidding. AK03603.
Cool.
Eagle Classic.
It's written on the back of the headstock as well, if that's easier to read.
I can't read either of them. My eyes are going completely.
All right,
it's just the one eye.
Okay. I don't think we're going to jam out. I think you've had enough of this.
Yeah.
But look, beautiful guitars. Come and make your own music on one of these. And that's it. We'll see you in a video soon. Au revoir.